we need to appraise every loan application. One, in order to prevent entrepreneurs from embarking on bad projects. Two, in order to ensure that potentially good projects don't go bad. Because globally, out of every 10 well-appraised projects, the chances of success can be as high as 80% or 70%. But where projects are not well appraised, the failure rates can also be quite high too, as high as 70, 80%. And while you appraise a project, yes, you look at the bright sides. You also need to identify the risks. How can the risks be managed? How can they be eliminated? How can they be reduced?
Or minimized.
How minimized, exactly. How can they be shared? Right? So when you appraise. Then he was talking about character. That's just one of the 5 canals of credit. You got to look at the capacity of the business proposal. Do you have a viable business model in the first instance? What are you offering? The value proposition. Who is willing to pay for these goods and services you are trying to produce? So that's why the cash flow comes in. Because from the cash flow, that's why you pay. Then, what is your own contribution to the project? Capital. You must have your own capital. Because if the total project costs 15 million, the bank will not give you 15 million. The bank will probably give you 10 or 12 million. You still must bring in your own 3 to 2 million. Equity. Right? Then you are looking at the condition. What is the environment? Right? What is the situation of the promoter? Then the issue of collateral comes in case the project goes bad. Because a bank typically plays an intermediary role. She brings her savings to you, or to me as a banker, and then you come to me, I lend to you. On demand, if she asks for her money, I must be able to ensure that I give it back to her. Yeah. So I only put a spread. Maybe I pay her 10% and then charge you 15%. That 5% spread, that's where I make my own money. And do everything. So I'm put in place necessary risk management framework to ensure that when she demands something, then the last thing is character. So that's why the issue of is my share of the national cake comes in. That's where coming up with fake documents come in. So where you pass in all the 4 other areas, character is very important. Standard practice that where character fails, you decline. And that's why I was talking about we need to change our attitude to credit in our environment and in our society and across all startups.
I was going to ask, let's say all the criteria have been met. What's the percentage, the interest rate of this?
Well, it varies. The standard interest rate of the Bank of Industry is 10%. But some can be as low as 5% managed funds. For example, Aliko Dangote, we have a 10 billion naira SME fund with him. We brought 5 billion, he gave us 5 billion. His own interest is 0. BOI is 10. So the average is 5%. So for the Dangote facility, managed by the Bank of Industry, you can access loans for as low as 5%. Same with some state-managed funds too. We have signed MOUs with about 18 state governments. Some state governments will say don't charge interest. For Edo State, for example, that is 0%. So for beneficiaries...
And is it being assessed at all?
Of course, yes. The state ones are being assessed.
The only flip side again is the sector. Because there are some sectors that are restricted. I think the Dangote fund, you can do trading,
15% of it, yeah.
15% can be commerce, but majority of those money will not support commerce. And if you look at most of those small businesses, a higher percentage of them, they are in distributive trade. So they can access.
So you are one of the
BDSPs.
There's this money sitting down. So how do you intend to get people to access this money before it runs out in 6 months?
I discussed a few examples with him on our way here, and we are stuck with a few because of the issue of collateral. Very good products, very good understanding. Even the two of us agree that this is a good one. But unfortunately, the only solution is equity of some sort. To get that lady to a level first before they can access this capital. And we have a lot of them, and it's a big challenge.
Well, okay, you out there, if you want to grow your business, your small or medium-sized business, here's a chance for you to access some money. BOI has 15 billion hanging around waiting for you. So make sure you get your documentation right and find someone to write you a good proposal, and you just might be able to get your business going. Thank you very much, gentlemen. And we've been chatting with the Executive Director, Small and Medium Enterprises at the Bank of Industry, Mr. Wahid Olagunju, as well as Mr. Peter Bankole, Director, Enterprise Development Center of the Pan Atlantic University. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Sunrise will return in just a moment.